strength endurance, cardio, conditioning is king. We're gonna give you those key aspects to make you an endurance freak, and we're gonna start right now. So we're here with Ian Ross, who's been on the national team for sprint canoeing every year since 2009. And Ian's about to start his high intensity interval training portion of this workout. Okay, so this is a workout that you guys can take and do today. So what we're gonna start with is Ian's gonna hit 20 straight seconds as hard as possible. We wanna get those RPMs as high as possible. Then he's gonna have an active recovery for 40 straight seconds, and we're gonna do that for 12 to 15 minutes, depending upon when he feels like he's gonna die. Go. Okay, good. That was all up at like 105 to 110. Did you have any caffeine this morning? No caffeine?
Just water.
Did you sleep in your van?
I got like 8 hours, I think.
You got 5 seconds. Go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Keep moving. Keep moving. Come on. Good. Go. So Ian is in the process of hitting those high intensity interval trainings. So one of the big aspects is that if you're trying to improve your cardio, you should be doing this like 20 to 30 minutes a week minimum. Ideally, at a world-class level, you're gonna be doing that 40 minutes a week every single week. Good. And that's gonna help drastically improve your body's ability to respirate. The mitochondrial respiration rate will increase, and over a long period of time, you're gonna see your VO2 max start to improve, and in turn, you're gonna see your red blood cell mass, your hemoglobin mass increase, and that's gonna help that delivery of oxygen. So if you can do this on an assault bike, you can do this on a rower, you can even do this on hill sprints. Go! And that's going to improve that ability specific to your sport. So if you're a wrestler, even if you're an 800-meter runner, even if you're a canoeer, 20 to 40 minutes a week, figure out what those exercises are gonna be that are gonna help you with your overall endurance. That's good. That's gonna drastically improve that mitochondrial respiration and help you with that oxygen transport. 30 seconds. So when I look at endurance, I like to pitch it very simply. Oh, you gotta increase your mitochondrial volume. Oh, you gotta increase your mitochondrial respiration. All those things are important. We gotta improve our VO2 max. We gotta improve that red blood cell mass. All those things are great. But what does that mean for athletes, right? So if we can look at it as we need to improve global endurance, go! We need to improve localized endurance, and then we need to improve that specific endurance. So global endurance would be, we need to just be in shape. So we've got to do things like LSD work. We've got to do things like high intensity interval training so that we can be in that fourth quarter, or we can be in overtime and still be able to accomplish what we need to accomplish. Go! Now, if we're looking at specific local problems, okay, think about a wrestler and they might say, man, in overtime or in that third period, my legs feel dead. So locally, in that situation, we need to work on their endurance in their legs, or we need to work on that endurance in their arms. Same if we're thinking about an offensive lineman, right? They're holding bad position, they're getting into a bad position because their lower back's really fatigued late in that fourth quarter. When we think through that lens, that localized area is gonna be their lower back or potentially their glutes. When we're thinking about somebody like Ian, that might be localized to his lats or his biceps because he's a canoeer. Now we get into that specific aspect, and that specific aspect for him would be, how is his endurance on the boat? For the wrestler, go! That would be actually wrestling consistently, and then we could potentially in the weight room do things like stance and motion. For a basketball player, that might be doing higher speed drills when they're under fatigue. For a football player, that might be doing some type of high intensity interval training on the gridiron and then having them hold positions when they're coming off the line. So we want to look at it as global, and typically global can be trained through LSD. That localized aspect is going to be specific to those muscles that each sport is going to use, and then specificity is going to be directly related to the sport. So it's sort of a triangle that feeds one another, and we've got to figure out what each athlete needs to improve their overall endurance. Hey, we still got some lifts that we gotta do.
That's all good. I'll be there.
That was a nice one.
Yeah.
That looks like oatmeal.
Oatmeal and peanut butter.
Peanut butter still tastes good on the second time. Okay, so we just got done that high intensity interval portion of the workout. Now, a lot of people are gonna say, well, when should we do LSD work? So if you can do LSD work 120 to 180 minutes a week, spread out over the week, that could be as simple as walking, going on a treadmill, something along those lines. We're not gonna do that in this specific workout. The next thing that we're gonna be doing is we're gonna do some form of potentiation specific to Ian's sport. So think about that. You can take whatever sport you're doing and say, I wanna work on a specific aspect getting stronger. That's gonna be the potentiation point. Then we're gonna backdoor that with specific localized endurance. So we're gonna work on the seal row here, trying to be as explosive as possible, accelerating as well as possible. That's something that transfers really well to the canoe over to Ian in the boat. That's gonna end up leading to us focusing on the localized problems that he might have when he's on the boat through his biceps, through his lats. So we're gonna get into this next portion, and this is gonna be about potentiation. All right, so I'm gonna do a set of 4 as explosive as possible. I'm trying to get a little bit of a pump here. The only rowing I've ever done is in a canoe.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Good. So ideally what's gonna happen is that's gonna light him up, get 4 or 5 more sets. His nervous system's starting to fire really well. Through those 4 to 5 sets, he's recovered about 15 minutes since bike work. And then you're gonna see what we're gonna finish off with. And again, this is something cool that you guys could do where you start off with that high intensity interval training, okay? And then you can still hit some good strength training that's going to help that strength endurance. Good. With wrestling too, it's like, and with you guys, you have to be really explosive,
Yeah.
but also have the engine to handle it.
Yeah, and then like you just make that engine a little longer through your technique by being efficient.
Okay, so we're gonna get into the strength endurance part. So we hit that potentiation after the high intensity work. So now we're gonna get into strength endurance. This is gonna be more local based. So we're gonna go pull-ups that we're gonna battle back and forth. I'm gonna go basically till I'm about 1 to 2 reps out from dying. Ian's gonna go, we're gonna go back and forth, and we're gonna do 2 more exercises to really target that strength endurance of our lats and of our biceps. I gotta beat Ian's ass in pull-ups. That's good. Oh.
I don't need a box because I'm not a Oompa Loompa.
Oh, yeah. This is gonna be hard. I can feel it right now. Good. So remember, strength endurance, minimal rest. Get right back into it. Oh, shit. Me, goddamn. Okay. So I'm gonna do one more after Ian goes here. And then we're gonna start doing a little bit easier work, but still gonna go right away. Focusing on the strength endurance that we're looking to improve. I'm not doing 40. I don't have strength endurance.
Come on, 5. There you go.
That's good. Ian can go. He's the important one. Come on. Need another one. Up. 1 or 2 more, let's go. Up. Come on, another one, let's go. Squeeze at the top, squeeze it. Good, okay, so we'll rest a minute and then we'll go right into the next exercise. I don't have strength endurance. All right, so now we're going more strength endurance. I was thinking 2 sets here, basically to failure. Try to get 30, bitch. Still offended by that Oompa Loompa comment.
Just because it was accurate? I got the advantage, I got him laughing.
Let's go 1 set with the garage grips, 1 set without them.
Okay.
So the other thing is too, is like this is gonna be it's so much less taxing than doing, the high intensity work on the bike or even the work with the seal row. This is a lot easier to recover from because it's mainly just bis and lats. Now Ian's got that middle schooler grip. Come on. Come on. Good. 2 more, 2 more, 2 more. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Let's go. Good. Come on. Ball go right away. That's good. Usually I will say 3 finishers for strength endurance for problem areas. You're looking at problem areas or performance areas. And this for Ian, it's much more of a performance area as a canoer. Come on. Come on, 2 more, 2 more. Give another one. Come on, squeeze it. Good. So we'll rest a minute and we'll go last exercise. Okay, so the next exercise, I'm gonna do it a way sort of like bodybuilding wise, and then Ian's gonna do it a way that's very specific to his sport. And when we were designing Peak Strength, some of the big factors around training was if we were gonna have rowing inside of the app, we had to figure out that strength endurance component. And so even inside of our different programs, we've got rowing, we've got 35 other sports, we've got athletic fitness and weightlifting. All of those different sports to a point need some sense of strength endurance. And that's one of those key parts around training that we want you guys to try. You guys can head over to peakstrength.app, the Google Play Store, the Apple iOS Store, download that today and get those 5 free workouts to improve that strength endurance. Boom. All right. So mine's a little more bicep, because my biceps are as strong as Ian's quads. And then when Ian goes, he's gonna show you the super specific strength endurance work that he's gonna do. Oh, that's good. I don't even know how many that was.
8.
Shut up, it was not 8. Maybe it was though. So Ian's going to demonstrate a little more specific. Good lengthening there, long lat. And one other aspect I wanted to bring up while Ian's doing this is the research around VO2 max and the red blood cell mass. Red blood cell mass is what some distance runners reap when they're taking nandrolone. Nandrolone will increase red blood cell mass, which means hemoglobin will transport oxygen to your muscles more effectively. So that's one of the benefits around a PED like that. Now, one way to increase that, if we can increase that red blood cell mass, the hemoglobin transport, that protein that's taking oxygen, can actually get improved and then lead to a greater VO2 max. If we're taking something like iron, if you're a little bit iron deficient, iron can help. Altitude training can help if you do it the right way, okay? If you go about it properly And then finally, heat stress or heat shock proteins, okay? Getting in the sauna, spending that time in the sauna will also lead to a positive impact on that red blood cell mass, ideally then leading to the increase in your VO2 max. I feel like you did like 30 and I did a total of 30. Yo, we just broke the cable.
Let's go.
That's the first.
Is that a weed thing though?
I just broke the cable.
Everyone who's a part of this gym just broke the cable.
The last time I did this, I broke a lat pull machine in high school around on it. Yeah, you can put your foot like that. Ooh, this is good. Ooh, oh, you get a nice stretch in that lower lat too, right here. All right, so we're rigging that up. We came over here from the tricep. Ian's gonna finish with this eccentric. Ian's gonna finish with the wheel, which is going to slaughter him. Then really squeeze that hard at the bottom. Yeah, yeah. Good. Bigger pop of that top too if you can, right there, come on. Good. Dude, the interesting part watching you do this too is we could change the height of that like 3 different ways.
Yeah.
Come on. Big squeeze. So this is like the exact position you get in the boat.
Yep. It's just I would be pulling from here.
Dude, I feel like you're gonna feel it in your abs too.
Yep. That thing's good.
Yeah, that.
Like for us, like you're here, right? And you're like there, and then you pull. So like if you could rig it to just come straight out from here.
I was just thinking if we lowered that, that would be really good.
I could just like sit there and like go for 4 minutes. I'd be
Yeah, yeah. That would be strength endurance. So focus on that global work. Get that LSD work on your own time in most cases. Then you can focus on that localized strength endurance. And then obviously you have to have that endurance that's very specific to your sport. Do all these things if you want to improve your overall endurance, because remember, freaks, if you want to become a champion,
You've always got to cultivate your power.
peace.